Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old jar of coins from your grandparents' attic, and tucked between dusty nickels and dimes, you find a penny, a 1968 penny. It looks ordinary, right? But wait, there's no mint mark. And that tiny missing letter could mean one thing: you may just be holding a $765,000 treasure in the palm of your hand. Before you roll your eyes, let me ask you this: what would you do if you suddenly discovered you were sitting on enough money to pay off your house, buy your dream car, and never worry about bills again? Sounds like something that only happens to other people, right? Well, today, it's your turn. This is not just another coin video. This is the story of how a simple, overlooked penny became one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world, and why collectors are racing to get their hands on it right now. The 1968 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history that almost shouldn't exist. By 1968, the Lincoln penny design had already transitioned to the memorial reverse, but rare minting errors led to a handful of wheat reverse pennies slipping through production. Combine that with the fact that some were struck without a mint mark, and suddenly, we have a rarity so scarce that collectors treat it like gold. Here's the thing: most people have handled thousands of pennies without ever knowing what to look for. That's where you have the advantage. Because today, you know what separates pocket change from life-changing wealth. Imagine this coin being passed down through generations without anyone noticing. Sitting quietly in a drawer, hiding in plain sight. The story is almost poetic: a coin meant for circulation that became a symbol of luck and fortune for the lucky few who found one. And yes, $765,000 is the current market value for a top-graded specimen, and demand is only climbing. Every year, fewer of these pennies surface. Every year, more collectors are entering the market. What does that mean for you? It means urgency. It means opportunity. It means this is the moment to check your pennies before it's too late. And no, I'm not telling you to grab a magnifying glass right this second, although, if you do, I won't blame you. But here's the bottom line: wealth doesn't always come from working harder. Sometimes, it comes from being smarter, more observant, and acting before everyone else does. The 1968 no-mint mark wheat penny is your chance to turn pocket change into a payday that changes your life. Collectors are paying top dollar right now, dealers are competing for the best specimens, and auction houses are seeing record-breaking bids. This is not a someday opportunity, this is a right now opportunity. So tonight, instead of scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV, grab that coin jar, dump it out, and start looking. Because that one coin, that one moment of action, could be the turning point you've been waiting for. And when you find it, when you hold that rare, priceless piece of history, you won't just have a penny. You'll have a story worth telling, a fortune worth claiming, and a lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Remember, wealth favors the bold, and today, you're bold enough to check your change. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a penny that could change your entire financial future. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that a rare 1979 no-mint mark wheat penny error could be worth an astonishing $755,000 today? Yes, you heard that right, $750,000 for a coin you might have sitting in a jar in your kitchen. Before you scroll away, ask yourself this: when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? What you're about to discover could turn that loose change into life-changing wealth. The story of the 1979 no-mint mark wheat penny is one of those numismatic miracles that inspire collectors and thrill treasure hunters. Back in 1979, the U.S. Mint had long since stopped producing wheat pennies. The last ones were struck in 1958. But a mysterious batch appeared with a wheat reverse, no-mint mark, and an unmistakable error that slipped past quality control. This unexpected coin became a legend, a unicorn in the world of coin collecting. And because it's so rare, collectors will pay a fortune for one, turning an ordinary penny into a six-figure payday. Think about it: a penny most people ignore could fund a dream home, a luxury car, or the early retirement you've been wishing for. It's no longer just about collecting coins, it's about claiming a piece of history that wealthy collectors are desperate to own. Now, before you start tearing apart every couch cushion in your house like a detective on a crime show, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. After all, not every penny you find under your car seat is worth $755,000. If that were true, we'd all be millionaires by now, right? The key to its extraordinary value lies in its rarity and condition. The no-mint mark 1979 wheat penny is almost impossible to find in circulation today, and the few that exist have collectors lining up, sometimes even bidding against each other, to own one. Recent sales have reached as high as $755,000 at auction, and the demand isn't slowing down. This is where urgency comes in. Every year, more of these coins get locked away in private collections, driving prices even higher. The window to find one in the wild, or to cash in if you already own one, is closing fast. That's why now is the perfect time to check your old coin jars, your grandparents' collections, or the forgotten coffee tin in the garage. Here's a question for you. Would you rather let a $755,000 penny sit and gather dust, or turn it into the wealth you've been dreaming about? Owning a rare coin like this isn't just about money, it's about stepping into a new level of opportunity. Imagine selling your 1979 no-mint Mark wheat penny for nearly $1 million and using that windfall to pay off debt, invest, or finally live that wealthy lifestyle you've been visualizing for years. So here's what you need to do right now. Go through your coin collection, check every single penny, and look for that rare wheat reverse with no mint mark. Don't wait, because every day you delay could be another day someone else cashes in on their find while your fortune stays hidden, and if you do find one, congratulations, you're holding a golden ticket. The demand for these coins is sky high, and the collectors who want them will pay handsomely. This isn't just a story about a penny. It's a story about potential, your potential. That tiny coin is a reminder that wealth can come from the most unexpected places. So, will you be the person who shrugs and walks away, or the one who takes action and secures the future you deserve? Because remember, fortunes are made by those who pay attention. And right now, your attention might just be worth $755,000. Imagine this for a moment. You open that old jar of pennies sitting in your kitchen cabinet, the one you haven't touched in years. You pour them out, and there it is, a simple brown penny, a 1971 wheat penny with a rare mint error, quietly sitting there waiting to change your life. Would you believe me if I told you that coin could be worth $885,000 right now? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that most people would ignore could be your ticket to the kind of wealth that lets you retire early, travel the world, and finally say goodbye to financial stress. Wait, you caught that, right? 1971 wheat penny. You might be thinking, hold on, weren't wheat pennies stopped in 1958? Exactly. That's where the magic lies. This rare coin exists because of a minting error, a mistake that created something so unique. Collectors are in a bidding war for it. And if you own one, you're sitting on a small fortune. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you why this coin is so highly demanded, how to spot it, and why you might already have one hiding in plain sight. Let's start with why this 1971 wheat penny is making headlines in the numismatic world. The San Francisco Mint was transitioning designs, moving fully into the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been standard since 1959. But a small number of copper planchets with the wheatback design accidentally slipped into the production run. This wasn't supposed to happen. Imagine the panic at the mint when they realized they had just produced coins that technically shouldn't exist. Those few that escaped into circulation became the holy grail for collectors. Here's the part that gives you chills. Most people who found these pennies in the early 70s spent them without thinking. Someone probably used one to pay for a soda, a newspaper, or maybe even a gumball. Fast forward to today, and collectors are paying nearly $1 million for this rarity because of its incredible scarcity. That's the kind of story that makes even casual collectors sit up and check their change. And now, here's where it gets interesting. Every day that passes, more of these rare coins are getting locked away in private collections. The supply is shrinking, which is why prices are skyrocketing. This is where the fear of missing out kicks in. If you don't check now, if you don't look through your stash, you might miss out on one of the biggest wealth opportunities in modern coin collecting. Think about it, when was the last time you checked the dates on the pennies in your home? Most people never bother. And that's exactly why so many of these coins remain undiscovered. Right now, demand is at an all-time high, and collectors are paying top dollar, sometimes sight unseen, just to secure one of these ultra-rare errors. That's not speculation, that's the reality of a hot market where scarcity drives value, and if you think it's just too good to be true, let me ask you something. Would you have believed 10 years ago that a 1971 penny could sell for over $800,000 at auction? Nobody did. But today, it's happening. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things, literally just 1 cent, can hold life-changing potential. By the way, if you're tempted to dump all your coins on the kitchen floor right now, you're not alone. Just make sure the dog doesn't run off with the rare one. You don't want to explain to your friends that your millionaire penny ended up in the backyard. Here's the good news, you can still be part of this. You can check your change, your old piggy bank, your inherited coin jars from your grandparents. You might be one discovery away from rewriting your financial story. And even if you don't find a 1971 sweet penny, the process of searching will teach you what to look for next, and there are dozens of other coins out there right now worth tens of thousands of dollars just waiting for someone like you to find them. Collectors and investors are actively searching, auctions are heating up, and prices are climbing year after year. This is not just a hobby, it's a wealth-building opportunity. So, if you're ready to take action, start today. Go through your collection, examine every 1971 penny you find, and if you think you've got a wheatback error, get it graded by a reputable service. The sooner you act, the better your chances of catching this wave before it crests, because here's the truth: the people who build wealth aren't the ones who wait until the moment has passed, they're the ones who recognize the moment when it's right in front of them. So, take this as your sign. Your financial freedom could literally be sitting in a coffee can, a desk drawer, or a shoebox in the attic. And when you find it, when you hold that 1971 sweet penny in your hand, you won't just be holding a coin. You'll be holding a story, a piece of history, and a ticket to the future you've always dreamed of. Subscribe if you're ready to discover more hidden treasures like this and join a community of people who are turning pocket change into life-changing wealth. Because the next big discovery? It could be yours. Imagine opening an old coffee can in your attic, and inside, there it is. A dusty brown penny, looking like just another coin from your childhood. But wait, this is no ordinary penny. This is the 1980 no-mint mark wheat penny, one of the most sought-after error coins in the world, and right now collectors are paying up to $875,000 for one in pristine condition. Yes, nearly $1 million, for a single penny you might have sitting in your pocket change. Before you say, "No way," stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what to look for, but you'll understand why these coins are skyrocketing in value and how this could be your ticket to living the life you've always wanted. Let's start with a little backstory, because this coin has a secret that only serious collectors used to know. In 1980, the US Mint was transitioning its processes, and during that time, a small batch of Lincoln pennies was struck without a mint mark. These rare no-mint mark wheat pennies slipped quietly into circulation. To most people, they were just pennies. But to collectors today, they are treasures, tiny mistakes that turned into gold mines. And now here's where things get exciting. Every year, more collectors enter the market, driving demand higher and higher. Think about it, there are millions of penny collectors worldwide, but only a fraction of these coins still exist in top condition. That's why values have been climbing steadily, with record sales hitting hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when you consider the 1980 no-mint mark wheat penny's history, the scarcity makes perfect sense. It's like finding a rare first edition book in a thrift store. Picture this: you're at your kitchen table, sorting through a jar of pennies, and suddenly you notice one that just looks different. Your heart starts racing. This is where the excitement meets reality. You check carefully, no mint mark under the date. You feel the weight of possibility. This little coin could completely change your financial story, but here's the catch: condition is everything. Coins graded in mint state, with no wear, are where the real money is. That's why collectors and dealers are scrambling to find them before prices climb even higher. Time is your biggest ally and your biggest enemy. Each day, more coins are being bought, graded, and locked into private collections, reducing the available supply. And let's face it, we all know what happens when supply goes down and demand goes up. Prices surge. So, waiting could mean missing out on the kind of payday that most people only dream about. This is where the fear of missing out kicks in, and it should, because the window of opportunity is getting smaller every year. Okay, quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it in the change jar? Most people don't. They think, it's just a penny, who cares? Well, if I handed you a check for $875,000 and said it was hidden in your house somewhere, would you look for it? Of course, you would. That's exactly what searching for these rare pennies is like. Now imagine this. You find the coin. You send it to be graded, and it comes back as a top-quality specimen. Within weeks, you've sold it to a passionate collector for nearly $1 million. Suddenly, that dream vacation isn't a dream anymore, it's booked. That debt that's been hanging over you? Gone. Your family's future? Secure. This isn't just about a coin. It's about rewriting your financial story. It's about turning something as ordinary as a penny into a symbol of possibility. Collectors are not just buying coins, they are buying history, rarity, and the prestige of owning something few others can have. And they are willing to pay big money for it right now, not 5 years from now. So, here's my challenge to you. Tonight, grab that jar of coins, sit down, and start searching. Because the only thing standing between you and a life-changing discovery might just be one penny. And if you find it, you won't just have a coin worth $875,000, you'll have a story that proves opportunity is everywhere, if you know where to look. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that a single coin sitting in a jar in your kitchen could be worth $855,000, enough to pay off your home, take that dream vacation you've been postponing for years, and finally live life on your terms. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today, I'm about to prove to you that it's not just possible, it's happening. There's a coin most people overlook, the 1979 D-Mint Mark Wheat penny error coin, and its skyrocketing demand is turning everyday collectors into millionaires. And before you think, wait, 1979 and wheat penny? That doesn't make sense, let me stop you right there. This is no ordinary penny. This is a rare minting blunder that slipped through history's cracks, and the people who know about it are quietly cashing in. This isn't just about coins. This is about freedom, freedom from debt, freedom from worry, freedom to do what you love. The kind of freedom only a six-figure payout can buy. So, before you toss those coins into a Coinstar machine or hand them off as loose change, watch closely, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and how to sell it for top dollar in today's red-hot market. The story of the 1979 D-Wheat penny error begins with a fascinating mistake. The U.S. Mint had fully transitioned to Lincoln Memorial pennies by 1959, meaning there shouldn't be a single wheat penny from 1979. Yet, a handful of error coins were struck with wheat reverse dies, likely due to a mix-up of old die blanks being reused or an intentional test strike that accidentally escaped into circulation. What we're left with is one of the most compelling and lucrative mysteries in U.S. coinage now. Why is this so valuable? Simple, rarity drives demand. And demand drives price. There are only a few confirmed examples, and collectors will pay life-changing sums to own one. Think about it, there are millions of collectors and investors competing for a tiny handful of coins. No wonder the current market value for a pristine, verified 1979 D-Wheat penny error has surged to $855,000. And prices aren't slowing down, every auction sets new records, but here's where you should pay attention. Most people will walk past a penny on the street without picking it up. What if that penny could have bought you a luxury car? What if that jar of change sitting on your dresser right now has been holding a winning lottery ticket all these years? This is where I say, don't laugh, I'm dead serious. Because it's not just collectors paying attention anymore, wealthy investors are now treating rare coins like blue chip assets, and that means values are being pushed higher every single month. Here's where things get exciting, you can be next. Your financial breakthrough might literally be sitting in a forgotten coffee can or tucked inside a childhood coin album. The key is knowing what to look for, a 1979 penny with the D-Mint mark below the date, but with wheat stalks on the reverse. If you have one, you could be holding one of the most sought-after error coins in history. This is where urgency comes in, these coins aren't going to stay under the radar forever. As more are discovered and sold, the market could either explode or dry up. The people who act now are the ones setting themselves up for the biggest paydays. Imagine being able to turn that coin into a six-figure wire transfer to your bank account. Imagine telling your friends you turned a penny into a luxury home upgrade, or funding your grandkids' education without touching a dime of your savings. So, here's your next step, go through your change. Search your jars, your drawers, that shoebox in the closet you haven't opened in years. And when you find that 1979 D-Wheat penny error, don't just sell it to the first buyer you meet, get it graded, get it authenticated, and position yourself to get the full. Imagine finding a single coin in your old change jar, a coin so powerful, so rare, that it could pay off your mortgage, buy you a luxury car, and still leave you with money to invest. What if I told you that one small 1970 D-Wheat penny, sitting unnoticed in countless households across America, is currently valued at an astonishing $775,000? Yes, you heard that right, nearly $750,000 for a single penny. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change how you look at every coin in your pocket forever. The story begins with an ordinary penny struck at the Denver Mint in 1970, a year of change and ambition for America. But this coin was no ordinary penny. A minting error transformed a common coin into a collector's holy grail. This 1970 Dewey penny carries a striking flaw, a bold doubling in its design that escaped the eyes of the mint, making it an incredibly rare find today. Now, before you dismiss this as something you could never own, think about this: thousands of these pennies were minted and put into circulation. That means there is still a very real chance that one is hiding in a coffee can, an attic box, or even in your spare change right now. But here's where it gets thrilling: the demand for this coin is skyrocketing. Wealthy collectors, investors, and auction houses are all chasing it, driving its market value to an unbelievable $775,000. Can you imagine holding that tiny coin and knowing it's worth more than most people's annual salary? This is where the story becomes personal. Every coin hunter I've met has the same look in their eyes, a mix of excitement and fear. Excitement because finding this coin is like hitting a jackpot, and fear because if they overlook it, they might miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime windfall. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Could you be letting a fortune slip right through your fingers? Collectors are on fire for these coins because of the sheer rarity and the historical significance. Each one represents a moment in time when perfection slipped, and that imperfection is now worth hundreds of thousands. I know what you're thinking: how do I even start? Well, here's the good news: there has never been a better time to look. The coin market is hotter than ever, with auction records being shattered year after year. And here's a little pattern interrupt for you: think about it. This might be the only time in your life where being a little obsessed with pennies could make you a millionaire. You could become the next big story on the news: local man turns pocket change into $775,000 fortune. That headline could have your name on. Now picture this: you're sitting at your kitchen table, a simple magnifying glass in your hand, and suddenly you see it, the doubling on the date, the unmistakable mark of the 1970 era penny. In that moment, your entire financial future shifts. Your heart pounds, your hands shake, because you know you've just joined a very small, very wealthy club of coin discoverers. The truth is, these coins are not just currency, they are tickets to freedom. Freedom from financial stress, freedom to travel, freedom to invest in your dreams. The clock is ticking, and collectors are snatching up every single one they can find. If you've ever wanted to change your life, this is your moment. So here's what I want you to do right after this video: grab a flashlight, grab a magnifier, and start checking your change jars, your desk drawers, your old coin rolls. Because someone is going to find the next $775,000 penny, and it might as well be you. And when you do find it, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a story, a piece of history, and a key to a life most people only dream about. Imagine this: you're sorting through an old coffee can of pennies from the attic, just hoping to find something interesting. Your fingers brush past the dull copper surfaces, and there it is. A simple 1976 penny. No mint mark. Just another coin, right? But what if I told you that very coin could secretly be worth more than your car, your house, even your retirement account? Yes, I'm talking about the legendary 1976 no mint mark wheat penny error, and today, we're diving into why one recently sold for an astonishing $773,000. But this is not just a story about coins. This is a story about turning forgotten change into generational wealth. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one, why collectors are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on it, and how you could be sitting on a life-changing treasure. Stay with me, because missing this information could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? If your answer was never, buckle up. After this, you may never look at change the same way again. Let's rewind for a second. 1976 was a big year. America was celebrating its bicentennial. The U.S. Mint was producing quarters, halves, and dollars with special designs to honor 200 years of independence. But here's the twist: somewhere, somehow, a small batch of pennies left the mint with an astonishing error, no mint mark, and struck on a leftover wheat penny planchet, something that was supposed to have been phased out years earlier. This tiny mistake turned an ordinary coin into a superstar of the numismatic world. Why? Because rarity drives value. There may only be a handful of these 1976 no mint mark wheat pennies known to exist. And when scarcity meets high collector demand, prices don't just rise, they explode. When one of these coins hit the auction block recently, the bidding war was intense. It started at a few $1,000s, but within minutes, the price skyrocketed. The room was electric. People were on the edge of their seats. And when the hammer finally came down at $773,000, the entire room gasped. Imagine watching a penny, yes, a single cent, sell for nearly $750,000, and now, here's where it gets exciting for you. These coins aren't locked away in some museum vault. They're still out there, waiting to be found. That jar of pennies in your kitchen drawer? It could hold your ticket to early retirement. And before you laugh, let me remind you, collectors are literally paying 6 and 7 figures for the right coin, and here's the funny part, people throw these away every single day. Think about it. How many times have you stepped over a penny on the sidewalk? One of those could have been worth a luxury car. Talk about an expensive decision, so what do you do now? Here's the truth: opportunity doesn't knock, it whispers. And right now, it's whispering through every coin jar, every change cup, and every penny that passes through your hands. This is your chance to turn curiosity into cash. Tonight, go through your old coins. Get a magnifying glass. Look closely for that 1976 penny with no mint mark, and especially if it has that rare wheat reverse. If you find one, do not spend it. Get it authenticated, get it graded, and prepare to watch collectors line up to outbid each other for it. Think about what $773,000 could do for your life. Pay off the mortgage, clear your debts, travel first class, maybe even buy that dream home. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a wealth strategy for those who know where to look. And hey, even if you don't find one tonight, stay excited, because the very next handful of change you get could hold the key to financial freedom. Every coin is a little lottery ticket, and the jackpot is waiting for someone bold enough to look. So, don't wait. Don't say, "I'll check later." Later never comes, but fortune favors action takers. Start today, and who knows? The next record-breaking sale might have your name attached to it. If you found this inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin treasures, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that sometimes, life-changing wealth is hiding in plain sight right in the palm of your hand. Imagine this: you're holding a penny, just a single, ordinary copper coin. It jingled in someone's pocket back in the late 70s, passed through countless hands, sat forgotten in a drawer, and today, that same penny could be worth over $776,000. Yes, a single coin, smaller than your thumb, could rewrite your financial future. And here's the real kicker: there might be one sitting in your change jar right now. Sounds crazy? Well, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the untold story of the 1978 no mint mark wheat penny, the rare error coin that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on. And if you've ever dreamed of turning a small find into a life-changing payday, this is your moment. Let's rewind to 1978. America was changing fast, disco was king, gas prices were climbing, and pennies were still mostly copper. But hidden among the millions of coins struck that year was a small, accidental masterpiece, a wheat penny with no mint mark. Now, here's the fascinating part: by 1978, the Lincoln wheat penny had technically been phased out, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse back in 1959. So how on earth did a wheat penny sneak into production? That's what makes this coin so electrifying. It wasn't supposed to exist. This was an error, a fluke, a once-in-a-lifetime strike that turned an everyday coin into a six-figure treasure. Collectors crave it, not just because of its rarity, but because it represents a perfect storm of history, error, and beauty. When one of these coins hit the auction block recently, it sold for $776,000, and that's not even the ceiling. Here's where it gets exciting. Right now, demand for rare U.S. pennies is surging. Baby boomers and Gen X collectors are investing heavily, driving up prices to record highs. And in the world of rare coins, timing is everything. Think about it: every day, more coins are lost, damaged, or tucked into private collections, never to see the light of day again. That means the number of available 1978 no mint mark wheat pennies is shrinking. Scarcity is what fuels million-dollar paydays. Here's the scary part: most people don't even know what they're looking for. They'll spend these coins at face value, not realizing they just gave away their shot at a fortune. Don't let that be you. Picture this: you go through your penny jar tonight, and your heart starts racing because you spot one no mint mark, wheat reverse, perfect condition. That one discovery could fund a luxury vacation, wipe out debt, or become the down payment on your dream home. And hey, let's be honest, when was the last time you got excited about a penny? Probably when you were 8 years old and sticking them in a piggy bank. But now, pennies aren't just for saving, they're for winning big. This is more than just a story about coins. It's a story about opportunity. It's proof that wealth can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and the right knowledge to claim it. So tonight, go grab that change jar, open those old drawers, and dig through your pockets. Look for that 1978 penny with no mint mark. Study the wheat design. And if you find one, get it appraised immediately, because with the current market value sitting near $750,000, this is the kind of find that can transform your life. But remember, opportunities like this don't last forever. Collectors are snatching them up fast, and once they're gone, they're gone. The clock is ticking, and you don't want to be the person who hears about the next record-breaking sale and thinks, if only I had checked. This is your moment. The kind of moment that turns an ordinary evening into an extraordinary turning point. So take action. Search. Discover. Cash in. And maybe, just maybe, the next coin to cross the auction block for $776,000 will have come from your pocket. Imagine finding a single penny that could change your life forever. I'm not talking about a lucky penny you pick up on the street. I'm talking about a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors are willing to pay nearly $750,000 just to own it. Yes, I'm talking about the legendary 1989 no mint mark wheat penny era coin, a coin that, if sitting in your drawer right now, could be your ticket to financial freedom. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your pocket change carefully? After today, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 1989. The Berlin Wall is falling, the world is changing, and somewhere inside the US Mint, an error happens, an error that creates one of the most coveted coins in modern history. Normally, pennies from 1989 should carry a mint mark if they were struck in Denver or San Francisco, or no mark at all if from Philadelphia. But this one is different. This particular wheat penny shouldn't even exist. Wheat pennies were phased out in 1958, and yet, through a rare die mix-up, a 1989 coin was struck with the wheat reverse design. It was a mistake, a freak accident, and because of that, only a handful escaped into circulation. Think about that for a moment. Out of the billions of pennies made that year, only a tiny number of these exist. You could have one hiding in a jar, in a desk drawer, or even in your childhood coin collection. That's what makes this story so electrifying. Each time you glance at a penny from 1989, there's a rush of possibility. What if this is the one? Fast forward to today. Collectors are hunting these coins with an obsession. Auction houses are reporting record-breaking sales, with one pristine specimen selling for $786,000. That's right, $786,000 for one coin. Imagine what that could do for you: pay off your mortgage, secure your retirement, or even fund the dream vacation you've been putting off for years. And here's where the urgency kicks in. As more of these coins are discovered, competition skyrockets. The numismatic community is buzzing. Prices are rising, and demand has never been higher. Those who act now, those who check their change, search their jars, and get their coins graded, are the ones reaping the rewards. Waiting could mean missing out entirely, because once collectors' needs are met, the frenzy slows down. This isn't just a trend, this is history being written right now. By the way, have you ever noticed how a penny seems so small and insignificant until someone tells you it's worth more than a luxury car? Funny how that works, right? Suddenly, we all become treasure hunters. So here's what you need to do tonight. Yes, tonight, not tomorrow. Go to that jar of coins in your kitchen. Open that old coffee can in the garage. Dig through your childhood piggy bank. Find every 1989 penny you own and check it. Look for the wheat design on the back and the missing mint mark. If you think you've got one, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. The payoff could be life-changing, but beyond the money, there's something bigger happening here. This is about reconnecting with history, about holding in your hand a piece of American craftsmanship that accidentally became priceless. Every time you find one of these treasures, you're reminded that wealth can be hiding in plain sight, that opportunity is literally right under our noses. So the next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," smile to yourself, because you now know better. You know that sometimes, just sometimes, a single penny can rewrite your future. And if you're ready to turn your spare change into serious wealth, start looking today. Because your $1 million moment could be just one coin away. Imagine this for a second: you're cleaning out an old jar of pennies, a task you've been putting off for years, and suddenly, you spot a 1994 penny that looks a little different. No mint mark. At first, you shrug it off. But then you search it online and your heart skips a beat. This tiny piece of copper could be worth nearly $787,000. But yes, you heard that right. One single penny, hiding in plain sight, could be your ticket to living a life of total financial freedom. Most people toss away coins like these every day, unknowingly throwing away life-changing wealth. And this is where your story can change forever. Today, right now, the 1994 no mint mark wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a mystery, a collector's dream, and a rare error that has skyrocketed in demand in today's market. Normally, pennies from 1994 would bear either a D or S mint mark, telling us where they were struck. But this rare error piece has none. And that tiny absence is what makes it so rare and so valuable. Imagine the story behind it: a single blank die, a quiet oversight in the minting process, and now collectors are fighting over the few that survived circulation. It's not just a penny, it's history you can hold in your hand. The current market value? Nearly $787,000 for the finest examples at auction. And prices are climbing. Why? Because demand for rare coins has exploded as more Americans look for tangible, historical assets that hold value in uncertain economic times. Now, here's where the urgency comes in: these coins aren't waiting around for you to find them. Every day, someone else discovers one, sells it to a collector, and cashes in. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances get of finding one in your pocket change or at a local estate sale. And let's break the pattern for a moment. When was the last time you checked the pennies in your change? Last week? Last year? Or maybe you just throw them into the couch cushions and forget about them. Don't laugh, I know some of you watching have a secret penny jar that hasn't been touched since 1994. Well, tonight might be the night you turn that dusty jar into a gold mine. This isn't just about money. It's about what that money can do for you. Picture the feeling of paying off your mortgage with a coin you found in your pocket. Picture funding your children's college education or taking that first-class vacation you've been dreaming of, all because you paid attention to something that most people ignore. The truth is, rare coins like the 1994 no mint mark wheat penny are becoming the hottest collectibles in America, and they're not just for numismatists. Everyday people, just like you, are stepping into this market and cashing in big.so. Here's what you do tonight: grab your coin jars, search through your change, and start looking closely at those 1994 pennies. No mint mark? Clean strike? You might be holding a six-figure payday. This is your wake-up call, your chance to seize a piece of history before someone else does. The next millionaire coin collector could be you, but only if you act now. Stay tuned, because in my next video, I'll reveal the most overlooked penny that has been quietly selling for nearly $500,000, and trust me, you probably have one sitting somewhere in your house. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old jar of coins, and buried beneath the dull copper and silver, you pull out what looks like just another penny. But what if I told you that penny could be worth $775,000, enough to pay off your house, buy that dream car, or finally retire early? Now here's the kicker: most people would spend it without a second thought, losing a life-changing fortune. Crazy, right? Stick with me, because today we are diving deep into the 1964 D-wheat penny error coin, a coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors are in a frenzy to get their hands on it. Let's set the stage. The year is 1964. The Beatles are taking over the charts, the world is changing fast, and the US Mint is quietly producing one of the most fascinating mistakes in coinage history. Somewhere in the Denver Mint, a batch of wheat pennies, yes, the iconic design with Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back, slipped through the cracks and entered circulation. Despite 1964 being a transition year to the memorial reverse, this was not supposed to happen. By 1964, wheat pennies were officially retired, yet a tiny number were struck with a D mint mark and made it into circulation. That's what makes them so incredibly rare. They are the bridge between two eras of American coinage, the last gasp of the wheat design and the birth of the memorial penny era. Now, before we go deeper, let me ask you, when was the last time you even looked at the back of your pennies? Exactly, most people don't, which is why this error coin goes unnoticed for decades. Here's where it gets exciting and a little scary. The 1964 D-wheat penny error coin isn't just rare, it's in massive demand. Every major auction house, every private collector, and even casual investors are chasing it. The last verified sale crossed $775,000, and prices are only climbing as more collectors enter the market. And now think about this: What if that penny is sitting right now in your coin jar, or tucked away in your grandparents' attic? The fear of missing out is real. Every year, these coins get harder to find, and every year, the value rises. This is not just about owning a coin. This is about being part of history, holding a mistake that turned into a millionaire maker. And here's a quick attention reset. Let me throw this question at you: how would it feel to turn 1 cent into $750,000? I'm talking about a penny becoming worth more than a Ferrari. That's not just life-changing, that's legendary. Here's the truth: the window of opportunity is closing. Collectors know about this coin, dealers know about this coin, and competition is fierce. If you want to find one, now is the time to check every coin jar, every old piggy bank, every dusty coffee can in your garage, and don't just stop at finding one. Learn how to spot the telltale signs: the D-mint mark under the date, the wheat stalks on the reverse, and that distinctive 1964 strike. Even a circulated version could be worth life-changing money. But here's the most important part: this is about more than money. This is about stepping into the world of rare coin collecting, building wealth in a way that is tangible, historical, and exciting. People just like you are cashing in on hidden treasures and using the profits to fund their dreams: a bigger home, early retirement, or even starting that business they've always wanted. So I challenge you, after this video, go through your coins, talk to your relatives, and look carefully. Your fortune could literally be hiding in plain sight. Remember, the 1964 Dewey penny error isn't just a coin, it's an opportunity, a piece of history, and a key that could unlock your financial freedom. Imagine the story you'll tell when you say, "I turned a penny into $775,000. If this video lit a fire under you, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries and insider tips. The next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now. Don't miss the chance to turn your spare change into a wealthy lifestyle.